Adam Schiff told security to remove John Kennedy. Then John did this. The Los Angeles Convention Center buzzed with anticipation, its vast hall bathed in the glow of stage lights that cast long shadows across the polished floor. Hundreds of people filled the seats. A diverse crowd of local activists, curious voters, and media personnel, all drawn to a high-profile forum on election reform. At the center of it all stood Representative Adam Schiff, his sharp features illuminated as he gripped the podium, his voice cutting through the air with the precision of a seasoned prosecutor. Our democracy depends on a voting system that's transparent, accessible, and fair. Schiff declared, his words resonating with the audience. Every voice must be heard. Every vote must count. The crowd erupted in applause, a wave of approval rippling through the room. Camera crews from CNN and NBC zoomed in, capturing the intensity of the moment, while reporters in the press section typed furiously, sensing the weight of Schiff's message. The forum held in the heart of Schiff's home state was his stage, a platform to champion reforms aimed at strengthening the electoral process. His navy suit was impeccably pressed, his posture commanding, and his eyes scanned the audience with a blend of conviction and control. The energy in the room was electric, a shared belief that change was not just possible but necessary. But then a subtle shift occurred, a murmur that began in the back and spread like wildfire. Heads turned, eyes darted toward the aisle, where a lone figure emerged from the press area, moving with a deliberate, almost leisurely stride. It was Senator John Neely Kennedy, his slightly rumpled suit and folksy smile instantly recognizable. The Louisiana senator, known for his down-home charm and knack for memorable quips, was an unexpected presence in this California stronghold. Whispers grew louder, a mix of surprise and curiosity, as Kennedy stepped into the light, his hands casually tucked in his pockets. Schiff's speech faltered for a split second, his gaze locking onto Kennedy with a flash of irritation. The crowd's applause faded into a hum of confusion, and the air grew thick with tension. Senator Kennedy Schiff said, his voice steady but laced with steel. "This is not your event." The words hung in the air, sharp and unyielding, as Schiff's hand tightened on the podium. A ripple of laughter broke out from a corner of the room, mostly from Schiff's supporters, but Kennedy didn't flinch. Instead, he raised a hand palm open as if asking for a moment's grace. "Now, hold on, Representative Schiff." Kennedy drawled, his voice warm and resonant, carrying the cadence of a Southern storyteller. "I just want to say one little thing." His smile widened, his eyes twinkling with a mix of mischief and confidence, as if he'd walked into tense rooms 100 times before and come out unscathed. The crowd's reaction was immediate and divided. A man in a baseball cap near the back shouted, "Let him talk," while a group of young activists closer to the stage countered with, "Get him out." Phones were raised, their screens glowing, as attendees began recording, sensing a moment that could go viral. Schiff, his jaw set, leaned slightly into the microphone, his tone unwavering. "Senator, you weren't invited," he said, each word measured but firm. "This is a forum for serious discussion, not interruptions." The crowd buzzed, some clapping in support of Schiff's resolve, others murmuring in anticipation of Kennedy's next move. The senator, standing in the aisle, tilted his head slightly, as if weighing Schiff's words, his expression one of amused patience. "I hear you, Representative Kennedy," replied his voice carrying effortlessly, despite the lack of a microphone. "But if we're talking about fair elections, don't I get a say, too?" A few chuckles broke through the tension, and a woman in the middle row nodded instinctively, drawn in by Kennedy's easy charisma. The room was now a powder keg, every eye fixed on the two men, one a pillar of disciplined authority, the other a master of disarming charm. Schiff, sensing the risk of losing control, signaled to the security team stationed near the stage. "Please escort the senator out," he said, his voice calm but resolute, leaving no room for negotiation. Two guards in sleek black suits moved swiftly, their polished shoes clicking against the floor as they approached Kennedy. The senator stood his ground, his posture relaxed, his face etched with the lines of a man who'd faced far greater challenges than a pair of security guards. The crowd's whispers grew into a roar, a chaotic blend of cheers and jeers. "Give him a chance," yelled a guy in a flannel shirt, while a woman near the front countered, "Stick to the program." The cameras panned between Schiff and Kennedy, capturing every nuance of the unfolding drama. Kennedy, unfazed by the approaching guards, raised both hands, not in surrender, but as if asking the world to pause. "Folks, let's not get too excited. Now," he said, his voice cutting through the noise like a warm breeze, "I'm not here to cause a ruckus. I just think, if we're talking about making elections fair, we ought to let everyone have a word." His words, simple yet pointed, struck a chord with some in the audience. A middle-aged man in a checkered jacket stood up, clapping slowly, while a group of students in the back exchanged glances, intrigued by Kennedy's boldness. Schiff, still at the podium, narrowed his eyes, his mind racing. He was no stranger to political sparring, but Kennedy's audacity was a different kind of challenge. Leaning forward, Schiff spoke into the mic, his voice sharp as a blade. "Senator, this is a forum for solutions, not stunts. You're not on the agenda." His words drew